now it's time for us to get into our communities. And if you've been following us since Monday, you will know that we've been talking about some issues, especially when it has to do with water and how the situation keeps getting worse and worse. And mostly we've been talking about, other regions in the country and not the Greater Accra region. But today, it's coming down to the Greater Accra region. Residents in areas like Nungwa, Tema Community 25, and Tudu are dealing with shortage of water. And, water is so important. We use it for cooking, bathing, and running businesses. And a lot of people have been complaining about this issue. Now, let's get into this report with Fauzu Masawudu and check it out. When we come back, we'll be talking about it and asking the right questions and hoping for the right answers. We'll be right back.
The effects of recent water shortages in parts of Accra have been dire. In communities like Leisure Street in Nungwa, residents, particularly food vendors, say they have had to rely on private water vendors at expensive rates. Patient Dubo is one of them.
1 month, 2 months. Papa. Yes, I chin a copy of baby near the abaned bay dranin.
Sana Mutun soon be saying.
A commute me to gallon bay 5 city. 5 city and a dear budiba. Ukobu and so bay a tetegarano da bay and da cradicha no was a cobium. Then I could bay 50 Ghana, but for dropping. By dropping by you bay 50 Ghana. I could boost 20 and wait to 50 Ghana.
Across the area, water storage containers like gallons and drums have become a common sight, with residents storing water anytime it's available.
So I buy it me fill good gallons in your tank the moody see one tear son. Now I'm banana for a quabon tear baby. Some percent penny for no or motion and so no measure on my and I say all line or something. Ama yes, so the me Baba.
While some residents in the community grapple with acute water shortages, others within the same vicinity have a story of the opposite.
The Ghana Water Limited attributes the erratic supply to an ongoing rationing program, citing the inability of its treatment plants to meet the demands of Accra's growing population.
Here in Accra, we ration water. We ration water because the demand for water far outstrips the supply of the commodity. In fact, if we don't ration water, what's going to happen is that only some few people will get water all the time. Others will not get at all.
In Accra's central neighborhoods like Tudu, the situation is equally concerning. Retailers like Auntie Becky say that taps flow only once a month.
No, eba 1 month, eba batomoshikome ni wono feast ni ke ba shikome mi no we ba batomo oba politan ka gbo ba na le tomo la enyo bo ba use we ko wo ba nyo tomo la kome no shi o shi kome no use ke nyo gbo nwe abana ba belu ode.
The ripple effect is also being felt by students living in hostels within the affected zones.
We are trying to cope, but we are managing, but it's really hard because sometimes I have to go to my sister's place around Flagstaff. She lives there, so sometimes I go to wash at her place.
A follow-up visit a few days showed marginal improvements. While some areas continue to experience acute shortages, others have seen partial restoration, though water flow remains inconsistent. In Peaceby, located in Tema Community 5, residents are battling the same issue.
For about 3 months now, we don't have water at all. It's not flowing at all for 3 months now.
What's the problem? Do you know?
Oh, no, I don't know. But I think some time ago, my husband called and then asked. And they say they have some problems, so they are solving it. But up to now, we still don't have.
Even domestic chores like washing utensils have become a challenge.
The last time we bought is 1,001, the big truck. Yeah.
How long does it last?
Roughly about 3 weeks.
Okay. So let's say 1,001. If you are buying 1,001 for every 3 weeks, that's a lot.
Yes, it's a lot.
Her neighbor, Hope Segbefia, expressed concerns about the safety of water from the tanker vendors.
Water have not been flowing, but we have been buying water by tankers. And we don't know where the tanker people have been getting the water before we have been buying from them. So it's a problem. And no information too is coming out.
We also spoke to a local water vendor who confirmed the business has been hit hard by the crisis. Meanwhile, the Ghana Water Limited has advised residents in affected areas to store water whenever possible.
Because we don't supply water to every community every day, but ration water, meaning there are days you get water, but there are days that the water will not flow. We need to inform or remind our customers especially that everybody must have storage. There are days the water will flow from Ghana Water. There are days the Ghana Water will turn the valve and direct the water to some other community. You will not get water. But if you have enough storage, as long as your water is flowing, you will store water.
Given the necessity of water to our human existence, it is a no-brainer that the absence of it makes life unbearable. And for residents here affected by acute water shortages, a free flow of it is not much to ask for. Reporting for Channel One News, Fauzuma Saudu.
All right, there you have it, a report from Fauzuma Saudu about the water situation in some parts of Greater Accra region. Guys, what are your thoughts about this?
This is getting worse by the day because what I know is Wager wasn't having water. Some part of Sotium didn't have it. It came down to Santa Maria. A very lovely lady here says that she's not gotten water for a very long time.
That's my area.
Just that she paid 4 Ghana cedis for 4 drops. Then other areas like Teshi, they've been complaining. Amasama. Well, we will give you the chance as the viewer to also speak to us and tell us where you are having the challenge. Meanwhile, you can still text us 0204 447033 and bring us where you are having the challenge in your area. But Anna, do you have water in your area?
I do, but it's erratic.
So it's off and on.
So do you know the days it comes?
It doesn't follow a schedule. Okay, so you're unable to plan, and that's my challenge. If there was a schedule, then you're able to plan. So I know that, okay, on this day at this time, there will be water. So I'll know how to open or lock my valves so I can store water in my tank. You get it? But
we have on the line the Regional Communications Manager, Accra East Region, Ghana Water Limited, Nana Yaberima Bani. Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Per your jurisdiction, where do you cover? Which areas do you cover?
Right. I am in charge of Accra.
Please, we are finding it difficult to hear you. So if you can reposition yourself and maybe you can speak a little louder for us, we'll be grateful. So we can go on. Which areas do you cover?
Okay, so as I was saying, I'm responsible for communication in Accra East Region. Accra East Region covers places like Dabraka, Accra Central, Railway Exit, of course, Teshi Nungwa, Adencha, Madina, Cantonment, Laboni, La, Dodowa, Oibi, Amantro, Ringway Estate. So all these areas are communities that are under the Accra East Region of Ghana Water Limited.
And with the areas...
It's not exhaustive. I will not be able to mention all the names, but I'll give you a mental picture of the areas that fall under Accra East Region.
And with the areas you've mentioned, per what you know, which of these areas have water and which ones do not?
Well, as far as we know, we supply water areas. So unless somebody or a resident living in a particular community comes to inform us that their water is not flowing, so we will be able to go to those communities and then find out why their water is not flowing. I remember about 3 weeks ago or 2, one of your reporters by name Joseph was in my office with a complaint from a resident of Tudu behind the Accra Technical University that her water has not been flowing. So I informed the reporter. In fact, I granted an interview to your station and mentioned that we are not aware that that area has a water problem because we serve Accra Technical University. So we expect that on the days that we are serving the university, people who live around the area should also be able to get water. So we will go there and verify, find out why that customer is not getting water. Following through with our promise, we went there and then we realized that the lady's meter had been blocked with sediment. Over time, it happens that your meter may be blocked. So after they had removed whatever had blocked the meter, the water started flowing. And in fact, before you heard the story 3 days ago in the evening, I personally called that customer and she confirmed to me that their water started flowing after our team had been there. So we would want to urge our customers or consumers generally that if their water is not flowing, they should do well to approach us, come to our office. There is always, an office nearby. Mm-hmm. All these areas we have offices, so you can go and make your complaint. And after you have made a complaint, we will also follow up and see how we can help you to get water. We understand the importance of water. It is said water is life. It is not just a cliche, it's not just a mere thing. It means without water, life is impossible. So we expect that if residents or consumers are not getting water, they will kindly approach us and we will find out how we can assist them to get water.
Nana, we appreciate your efforts at helping restore supply to some of these areas. But now you've placed the call to consumers to report to you. I am a bit concerned with this call because from where I sit, it looks like you're placing the responsibility of monitoring on the consumer. Do you have your own mechanism to detect whether there is a problem in certain areas? Say you have scheduled supply to this particular area. If there is a challenge and that supply doesn't go through, what mechanisms do you have internally to be able to detect same?
Okay. Well, in our office, we are unable to determine that water is not flowing. But normally when we push water to communities, we try and go there to find out whether the water is flowing. So this is what we do. But there are times also that customers themselves will call us and tell us this is what is happening, this is what is happening. I get calls, since I came here, I get calls from Airport Hills and places, and then they tell me, I'll just tell the distribution manager or the team, and they go there. If there's a challenge, they try to find out how the challenge can be resolved, and subsequently they begin to get water. In fact, it's been working since I came here in February. So this is what we have been doing, sir.
All right, so it seems like this water problem is not just in Accra or maybe around where you actually control, but it's almost everywhere in Ghana. Do you have an idea what the root cause of the current water shortage in these affected areas are?
Thank you very much. I must mention that water supply, especially in the dry season, like the period in which we are now, it's always a challenge. When you get into the dry season, it's always a challenge. Why is that so? Because during the dry season, it does not rain, so we don't have fresh inflows of water into the river base, into our dam. So the levels begin to go down and down and down and down and down. Like Western region where I just, returned from. The river goes down by the day. It gets to a point that if you are not even careful, you may not even get water to drink.
Right.
So we are not able to get enough volume to be able to abstract and treat. So this is why, at the moment, I hear in Tamale there's a huge issue there because, the river, the source water is virtually not there. So this is a challenge. And if the water is not there, it means you are not able to get what you need to abstract and then treat, transmit, and distribute. So this is the problem. But whenever we get into rainy season, these complaints almost fizzle out because the source river, the volume of water goes up. So we are able to abstract as much as we want. Then also, apart from the unavailability of the raw water for abstraction, there is also the challenge of capacity. All over the country, the places that we serve as a company, our capacity is such that it is unable to meet the demand. And once you are not able to meet the demand, definitely some places will suffer. If it was the case that as and when we realize there is a problem in capacity, we can mobilize resources quickly and expand, there will not be any problem. But here's the case when it's a bit difficult to be able to mobilize resources and then expand and then increase access. In Western region, for example, it is now, over the year, there has been a big problem. It is now that the government has, sourced for a loan for us to be able to build a new treatment plant, which is going to produce over 20 million gallons of water, for the community, for the metropolis. So once that is done, I'm sure this problem will be a thing of the past. So generally, the problem has to do with capacity. We don't have enough capacity to meet the demand. So we realize that the demand for the water far outstrips the supply of the service. So that is the major problem.
Right. So do you have any, say, long-term plans that will help prevent these water shortage issues?
Okay, I think the new minister, our sector minister, has said to us that the government actually prioritizes the supply of water because water is used for everything, everywhere, everything. In fact, there's nothing you do in this world that you don't need water. Everything you do, you need water. So the government puts higher priority on the provision of water. So they will do what they can to enable us where we need to expand capacity, we will do so. Wherever needs to be done in order for us to be able to meet demand, I'm sure the government is committed to help us. And once that is done, as for us, in fact, Ghana Water Company, it is said, has the best engineers, in terms of water supply industry. So once it is done, we will also be able to create these plans and then meet the demand of our consumers.
You made mention of some water lines blocking, specifically in Tudu, when our reporter came there to have a conversation with you. Is that to say that some human activities or things we are doing ourselves also contribute to this?
Well, on that one, I would say no, a big no. The blockade I'm talking about, our pipes, some of them are metal, some of them are all kinds of materials that are used. And over time, the internal lining, some of them, there are linings within the pipes. So over time, the internal lining of the pipes begin to peel off. And as they peel off, where do they go? They run along with the water that we supply. So you find out that these buildings will block your meter or block your service line, so water will not be able to pass through unless it is removed. There's what you call encrustation. So over time, these things sometimes they reduce the size of the of the pipeline because of these things that have accumulated within the pipeline. So that is the reason why sometimes you find some people's meter being blocked. But I will not put it to human activities. No, I will not put it to that.
All right, Nana, thank you. Let's just look at within your area. I don't know if Galamsey is a factor whether we can attribute or relate to the challenges we are witnessing.
No. I will not. I will say very big no, because here in Accra, we get our sources from. We have 3 sources. We have Pond.
Okay.
Yes, and Volta River. So far, have not seen Galamsey, on the Volta River. Not yet. I've not heard about Galamsey on the Volta River. Then we have the Densu River, which has been dammed at Ouija.
Right.
But Ouija has raw water availability every the year round, all the year round, all the time we have water in that dam.
Right.
And then also we have what you call the desalination plant at Teshi.
Teshi, yes.
The desalination plant. The sea never dies, we say. You understand? So the seawater is always available. As long as our equipment is in top shape, we can continue to produce. So for Accra, I will not say, unless somebody can prove me wrong, I will not say there is illegal mining that is disturbing us and not helping us to be able to produce water. No, I would say no, sir.
Very well. The rains are coming. I mean, we've started experiencing rains in parts of the capital already. Let's start off with the Ouija Dam. When are we expecting a spillage, and what advice would you have for residents within the area?
This is something that is quite concerning. It's become a ritual that every year Ghana Water Limited will spill the excess water and people's homes will flood. And after the flood waters have receded, we carry on with business as usual. I think this week, in fact, being in the Accra East region, I am not directly in charge of Ouija, the spillage and all of that. It is head of my boss, Nalimati, but I heard that we have started what you call the sensitization, the awareness creation, so that people will know we are just about to not spill. So they will take precautionary measures to avoid any unfortunate incidents. So that sensitization has started with the assembly and with NADMU and all of that. So we have started. But I will not be able to tell when the spilling will start because, as I said, I'm not directly responsible for that activity, sir.
Very well. But again, with the rains coming in and, of course, the challenges that you have already helped us to establish regarding the dry season, what assurances can you give people in affected communities that with the onset of the rains, there will be at least some level of stability regarding water supply?
Yeah. In fact, this is something that I have tested, I have witnessed over the years, that whenever we get the rainy season, these problems, if they don't, as I said, settle out completely, they are minimized. All these problems are minimized. It is true. I'm telling the truth. So once the rain sets in, definitely the raw water will be available. And the raw water is what we have started. That's a major raw material that we have started. So once we get enough water, I mean, you will see that the supply has significantly improved. So I can assure our customers all over where the problem is because of lack of raw water availability. So once we get into the rainy levels rise, the levels go up, we will be able to abstract enough water for treatment. Maybe residents of Sekedi Takrade are listening to me. They know. In fact, there was one radio station, the presenter had always been talking about Ghana water, not serving water. Just before I came, one day he called me to his station and was commending Ghana water highly. Why? Because the water is always on, it's always on. I told you it is because of lack of raw water. So once the raw water is available, the equipment, everything is in top shape, and we will be able to produce. So this is something I'm sure the residents in those communities that are affected also know, like Cape Coast, Sekedi Takrade, Elmina, and surrounding communities. Whenever we are in the rainy season, we don't experience this problem. So please rest assured that with the coming of the rains, all these problems will be resolved almost completely. All right.
Nana, thank you so much for talking to us. After the show, there's an issue I want you to help us with. This might not be within your jurisdiction, but there's an estate somewhere near Pram. There's an issue, a very disturbing one going there. So they are not connected. Pipes have not been laid to the area. The residents have come together to put resources together to have the GWL connect water to the area for them. However, one of your officers in the area keeps ballooning the price or the sum that it will cost them to connect. They go to him this day, it is one figure. They go marshal the resources, put together, come up with the money. They go by the next day, it has tripled. They are really concerned. I actually have a voice note from them. I'll send it to you after, and hopefully you can look into it for us and help us help these residents address this issue.
No, you can get me the contact person.
Very well, Nana. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Resolve issues that are not in our region.
Sure.
Taking a phone, so that's not a problem.
Sure. Thank you so much. I'm sure the people of Western Region miss you already. Nana, thank you. We're grateful to you for talking to us.
I'm grateful. Very
right. All right.
Bye-bye.
So we have the communications manager for the Accra East region, that is Nana Berima Bania, who is the communications manager there. This is a personal issue. Water.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about it from Monday till now. It may sound that we are saying the same thing every day, but until we get solution to this problem, we can't stop talking about it. Mentioning the areas that he supervises tells you that there is a big pressure on the Ghana Water Limited. Look at Tudu, to Adabraka, to Cantonment, Osula, Teshi. The population keeps increasing every now and then. So maybe with the onset of the rains, you may want to buy another tank and store water. And also check usage of water, because it's very important. So you wouldn't want to
the thing is scarce. Why do you want to waste it?
Waste it. You alone. You are buying like 3 buckets of water because you've seen that we have enough water in the tank.
And the shower for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
exactly.
you are in and you are singing.
What are you doing?
And you are singing.
Yeah,
So one thing we don't pay attention to is
manage
the
the water we
wastage
have.
as well. Listen, and then the issue of illegal connections. If you look at the figures and the loss the Ghana Water Limited is making, you would actually cry for them. It's just about 48% of the water that they produce that actually gets to the consumer.
Before the new administration, the managing director of Ghana Water went round to check the illegal connections, and they ensured that the homes they went to, if you are not connected legally, then they disconnect you totally. But I don't know what has become of that particular plan, going from home to, mind you, Ghanaians, if you don't come and monitor and check this thing every now and then,
of course,
we will go back to the old stage.
You see why I was asking now about their own internal mechanism to detect some of these things.
Yeah, because I think it's very, very
Yeah.
important, because just leaving it to the citizens is also stressful. But in as much as they expect us to, come out to them and always reach out to them, I would also commend them for doing a great job. They actually listen.
Yeah.
That I'm not going to take it away from them. They actually listen, because like the first time I went, they sent people to follow me straight up and then check it. And when I even call the guy, he just tells me, oh, there's this, there's a pipe breaking here, there's even though there are so many problems, they actually listen.
Exactly.
So I wish they can actually find a solution to, you know, knowing that there's a problem here. This is
Try and monitor.
And you see, for me, I think
Monitor.
where we've come as a people, we've come a long way from, as a people, to the fact that now we have to depend on rainwater as, fine, it is the major source. We can't do anything about it. But there is innovation, there's technology now. You go to Las Vegas, it's a desert area. They don't have water. Every water they use, they consume, because there's proper recycling. They're actually paying people to have pave their the fronts of their houses instead of having grass there, so that they don't have to waste water watering the grass. You get it? So if we're able to innovate, put in a proper recycling system, then we can recycle all waste water and resupply same. You get it? I don't think in this day and age we should still be waiting for the rainy season.
Why should we be spilling water?
That is my concern. When the dam is full, it hits its threshold. I believe there should be a way to rechannel the water instead of just spilling it, wasting it.
Because we need raw water to be processed. Then these waters can get into people's homes.
Farmers are crying of drought, but we will spill.
Well, we'll spill.
You get it? So in as much as we're looking at the challenges in supplying, we are advising or urging that some level of innovation, some level of thinking should go into re-engineering our water supply system, so that we can store excess water, we can recycle wastewater, and supply same back into the system.
Funny, I think the engineers themselves, they know, but they would state finances or money
it will
to
come
be the
at
problem.
a cost. Philip, there's nothing in this world that is free. It will come at a cost. But you know, the biggest cost aside the financial cost is the political will.
Yeah. If there is a political will, it will be done.
If the government wants something done, they will do it.
Like what happened in Volta region, where there was a spillage of the Volta Dam,
the
Akosombo Dam, and later destroyed homes and all. We've not had a permanent solution to that problem. And we are waiting in the near future, when the Akosombo Dam gets beyond its level, we'll have to spill again. Mind you, when the issue happened, a lot of engineers spoke about is that you have to create, or you have to get irrigation dams that these waters will be channeled into when the Akosombo Dam is spilled, among other things. But it tells us that, like Nana said, after when the rain sets in, we get enough water, we go and sleep.
The new MD for Ghana Water Limited, Adam Mutawakilu. Good morning. Galus. That's his name. Galus.
But that was his area we discussed not too long ago. Damongo.
I know the funny thing. He's actually constructed boreholes in that area.
Wow. Let's bring you the Member of Parliament for Bunkatamanso, Joseph Tete. And he is the man we want to speak to now, because we understand that his area, the residents are also struggling, or constituents are struggling to get water. Honorable, good morning.
Good morning, my brother. How are you doing?
Hello, sir.
Hello, how are you doing?
I trust you are doing well.
Yes.
What is the current situation in your area concerning water supply? The Bunkatamanso constituency.
Bunkatamanso, we have problems across the constituency. It's a widespread problem. When you take my constituency, we have different areas, widely spread. And so we go to area that we call Good Lake around Michel Camp, they have water issue. We go to Katamansi area, they have water issue. We come to Community 25, Bethlehem, there we also have water issues. We go to Pong, we have long-standing water issues. So it's a widespread problem. It's generally across the country.
And with this problem, when did it start?
Oh, if you take for example, it has been there for some time. I mean, yes. But other areas, the problem started, I would say, beginning of the year. We have shortage of water supply to some areas, but I think the problem has been aggravated mostly this year. Yes.
Wow. And I'm sure, as the Member of Parliament, you've engaged the authorities in the area or the Ghana Water Limited that supervises your constituency. What have they been telling you? Maybe there is a peculiar issue that constituency is facing.
Yes, the main problem has to do with the pipeline. You know, my area is a developing area. Today there are people coming into the conference. So, for example, if you take an area called Apollonia, there was a pipeline from Kenya Junction to Apollonia. At that time, we didn't have development along that stretch. But now that people have come in, so the pipe, about 4 inches pipe that was serving the people of Apollonia, but because of the development, people are now passing into that same pipeline. So the water doesn't reach Apollonia anymore. So most of the area has to do with the pipelines. So we are advocating for most of the lines to be changed to bigger ones. I mean, the pipelines to be changed to bigger ones. I think that's what will also solve this problem. If you take an area like Community 25, they also have the same problem. As I speak to you, there is 6 inches pipeline that serves Bethlehem areas to Community 25. A new pipeline, 6 inches, has also been laid, but it has stopped at Bethlehem. It hasn't got into Community 25. So that's what's also making water problem rampant at Community 25. If you take home, they also need new investment. I mean, the new investment so that the water can come to the main township. So we are discussing some of these things. And also, we have issue with the main thing has to do with pressure. And I think the pumping of water to some areas is being controlled, is being regulated. So some people will get at this time, another time to another to. These are some of the big problems that we are facing.
Honorable, most of these areas you mentioned are, for want of a better word, new areas or developing areas. So could it be a problem with planning? Because if these are new areas, are they serviced areas? Do we have the pipes already constructed to be able to supply water to these areas? Is it an issue of planning that is resulting in these challenges?
Yes, that is it. And so we have to identify the source of the problem and tackle it once and for all. So that is what the discussion I'm having with the authority. We need new ways of planning. So the constraint our population is about 417,000 and keep increasing. The whole Ghana, no constantly has population like Nkatamanso, 417,000. And so the increase in population has in basic amenities. And this is what is putting pressure on the few ones that we have. So we need a holistic approach to this problem.
Very well. So, I mean, it's a new administration now. We know that some of these projects will be cost intensive. I mean, you are part of this new administration. I am sure you're also friends with the Honorable Mutawakilu, who is now MD for Ghana Water. He has served as Damongo MP before. What is the level of engagement at that level with the Honorable Mutawakilu and, of course, the Ghana Water Limited?
Okay, so before I book appointment to meet him, but before then, I have to know the problems on the ground. And that's what I've done for the few weeks that I'm able to talk to you about some of the issues. So that now that I've come myself with all this information, then when I meet the minister, I know exactly what to tell him. So I'll book appointments, and I'm sure by next week, I'll meet him so that we see how best we can solve the check.
Honorable, is there a check from the assembly, that is the Nkatamanso Municipal Assembly, that individuals who are putting up structures in the area should be monitored so that you would have a better service, or say water into their homes before these structures are built? Because sometimes you have a new site and all the necessary measures weren't taken before people moved to the area, and they will now start putting pressure on the Ghana Water Limited. What is the talks at the municipality level to ensure that such a thing is done before people build in your area?
Okay. So I think that's something that we all have to take account of. Now people build living without acquiring the needs and all that, and it's also creating some of these problems. As soon as people buy land from maybe the locals, they start putting up building without using proper plan. So it's something that we look at when especially the assembly is well constituted, something that are planting to the authorities that we see the way forward.
Honorable, having taken cognizance of the challenges in the area, are you able to prefer some possible solutions, especially now that you have an appointment with the MD of the Ghana Water Limited?
I can't hear you. Please repeat your question.
I'm asking that, having taken cognizance of the challenges in your area with regards to water supply, are you able to suggest some possible solutions in addressing it, especially now that you have booked an appointment with the MD of the Ghana Water Limited?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That the problem has to do more with the construction or installation of new pipelines that are bigger. We need to replace some of the pipelines and also, if possible, bring additional one along the ones that we have. With this, when we have bigger pipelines, water flow will also be easier to the area. As I said, some of the pipes that we have were supposed to serve a smaller group of people. But because people are built along the line, they tap the water before it even gets to the final destination. So the main problem has to do with pipeline, and we need to invest in some of these activities so that my people can get water.
Very well. The water truck business must be booming in your area.
Yes. Come again?
The water truck business, those tankers that carry water, is the business booming in your area?
Yes, it is. Even just last week, I have to get some of the tankers to supply water to the people of Kong. And something I've decided to do on a weekly basis, not only Kong, I've asked other communities to identify areas that we have pollutants and cool, so that I can also at least supply them some of the water for that temporary measure. So yes, it is true. The tankers are really cutting in on some of these things, and I'm sure making the water supply to the various homes very expensive. So it's something that is going.
Are you looking to engage these truck drivers on the prices or the charges?
I think that yet, but it's something I can consider.
Very well. Very honorable. Thank you so much for talking to us. We wish you well.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Grateful.
I'm just, more concerned about what he said at the end. Please engage the truck drivers.
Yeah.
Like, for someone
it's
like me,
you, huh?
yes.
Yeah.
Because, I don't think his area is far from mine. Yeah, I live in East Legon Hills, and sometimes the map says it's Bonkatama, so sometimes it says Adenta, whatever. I'm just in the middle of that. And now, if he's going to engage the truck drivers, please do. I beg you. Because it costs $150 to fill a tank. And the tank is not even enough sometimes.
Wow, $150.
Yes.
I think you're not paying that much.
How big is your tank?
It's big.
It's big?
Yes.
Ever since I moved to where I am, I've
150 Ghana cedis?
People are paying 600.
Yeah, people are paying more.
800.
Are you serious?
People are paying more.
No.
Recently, some
maybe your tank isn't big.
Yeah, probably my tank isn't big.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe what I'm calling big is not big.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
maybe it's not big.
Yeah, maybe what I'm calling big is not big. Because I have to do that for the month, probably 3 to 4 times. Yeah.
Oh, recently I was ripped up. I think the guy noticed my desperation and created a whole story about how far he has to travel to get the water.
You also have to buy water?
Yeah, there was a period where there was no water at all. There was no water at home. And I was forced to buy. He noticed the desperation in my voice. Gave me some funny cock and bull story about having to travel a long distance to get the water.
No,
it took 1,150.
No, but it's not cock and bull. They actually have to travel. Sometimes,
They do.
because
But
there's no water
price
for
that they take.
no, but there's no water for them sometimes. So they
have to travel long distances.
Yeah, they actually do that to me sometimes. They'll tell me, you know what, today there's no water where we get it. That they have to go all the way probably to somewhere in Medina. Usually they get it somewhere in the area, but they'll go all the way to Medina, or they're going inside Adenta or something. So when they go far, the money is going up.
I feel sometimes they just take advantage of us. But anyways, we'll see. Grateful that you stayed on with us. We're discussing the issue of water and its associated challenges. We'd like to hear from you which area you are, what is your own situation, how long have the taps not been flowing, and if they do, at what times have you reported same? What have you heard from the authorities? Let us know what your experience is. Okay, the number is on your screens. They call us and let us hear from you. But you see, in as much as we are calling on duty bearers to sort or to fix this problem, there's a responsibility on us as consumers. The illegal connections, they are affecting the revenue stream of the Ghana Water Limited. And so they do not have enough money to maintain their facility or their equipment, their plants. They do not have enough money to procure the necessary materials to clean the water for you and I to consume, and even to pay their staff and all that. So stop the illegal connections, okay? Now, when that is done, pay your water bill.
Some people will keep the water bill for a very long time and they wouldn't pay. And
I keep saying that if Ghana
but why don't you do water prepaid?
Like the ECG has done, we'll die in this country.
But maybe Ghana Water should consider doing prepaid. Maybe.
Perhaps
can
for
it work?
their own sake.
No, but can it work?
Oh,
it can.
I mean, you buy credit, right? If you don't buy it, you don't have water.
Right. Anyway, we have a call on the line. William from Tema is joining us on Breakfast Daily this morning. Hi, William.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. You're welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you very much. This is the first time calling to your program.
Oh, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. All right, so tell us, what's the water situation in your area like?
Yeah, it comes and it goes. Sometimes it will flow for a certain period. And then,
William, sorry, which area is this?
Around Community 2 areas.
Community 2, Tema.
Sometimes it comes and then goes away. But my problem, the reason why I'm going to this program is today, I traveled to Sugar Company, and then I saw the way the fresh water is flowing into the sea. So is there no way this water can be stored somewhere so that it can be supplied to the communities needed? Because I keep thinking about these things every day. We have people going to school, they pay scholarship to go and learn. So that when you come, you add something to what is there already. Sometimes I don't know what is going through. Because you travel to other countries, even in somewhere like Cairo. Some time ago, I saw something, I was shocked. On the desert, and people are growing something like banana and other things. So I don't know. Anyway, thank you for the opportunity to speak to you.
All right, thank you so much. Now,
so it's also addressing the same issue you were talking about.
That's what I'm saying.
With the developed countries, there are technology, there are ways,
there are mechanisms to do these things.
Harvest.
Philip, do you know what our pipes were like before? They were concrete pipes.
Okay.
Water was flowing through concrete pipes from back then. We found wisdom and innovated to the plastic, the PVCs.
The PVCs.
We're using PVCs now to supply water. We should be able to innovate enough to store water, to recycle water, to harvest water, and not wait for rain. And like William is saying, water is flowing into the sea.
To the sea,
But water is not flowing into your home.
And it has to be harvested.
We need to innovate enough to harvest. There's technology available. It's not like it's not there. It is there.
Previously, I think I came to Tema some time back, and you can drink water through the taps.
Yeah.
Tema water was very nice. Is it same?
Yeah, to a large extent.
Still
you can
nice.
drink from the taps in Tema.
Right. Yeah. All right, so Abukari from Kpon is joining us. Hi, Abukari.
Good morning.
Good morning. You're welcome to Breakfast Daily.
I'm calling from Newland, Katamansu.
Right.
Please, we last 2 months, last 2 months, up to last month, we couldn't get even 1 day. They didn't give us water. Yes, but we realized that there are some people at the downtown junction they were tapping the water. They tapped the water from the downtown, the main road leading to Katamansu. They tapped the water there, and then the tankers have been coming there to fetch water, and then the water could not reach us.
Right.
Yes.
Have you reported this to the Ghana Water Limited?
Downtown.
But is the Ghana Water Limited aware of this?
I don't know. Tankers have been coming there to, when they pump the water even weekly, it will not reach Katamansu and Newland. It will be within Atadika, and then downtown. It will be like, so sometimes they pump it weekly. So when they pump the water to us weekly, it will not reach Katamansu and Atadika.
So for how long has this been happening?
About two months we couldn't get water, but they were fetching water there.
Do you know who takes this water? Is it the Ghana Water or is an individual just being?
No, individual.
Exactly. So it's
you have to check there. Yes, downtown up to Newland Junction. That place. Yes, tankers have been fetching water from there.
Oh, the tankers.
And do you know the source of this water? Is it groundwater? Is it Ghana water?
When they pump the water, you will see that Atadika will be having water. But coming to the Katamansu side, you will not have water.
Right.
So we suffered for about 2 weeks, 2 months. So this month, when my water bill came, it was 0.
Oh.
Nothing.
Right.
Maybe you should have a conversation with the Ghana Water Limited. I'm sure they may be watching, so that they will get to your area and rectify the situation immediately. So, because
when we consulted, I called them and they said they have been pumping it weekly, but the weekly it will not reach our place.
Right.
It will be blocked at that place, and then Atadika will be having water.
Well, very well. Thank you. Perhaps it could be the topography of the area.
Of course, maybe the pressure.
And then the pressure.
I actually understand him. Yeah.
So maybe Ghana Water needs to re-engineer.
I actually understand him because that's
system.
the problem I have sometimes. So the time, it hasn't, like I told you, since last year, I haven't seen water. When you call, when you call, they just tell you that, oh, the pressure is not getting to your place. It's the pressure. So people down the hill have water, and when you go up, we don't have water.
Maybe it can't climb up.
Yeah, so sometimes it's the pipe, sometimes it's the pressure, so many things.
The pressure is not enough. Okay, let's speak to Abraham. Abraham is calling from Old Ningo. Good morning, Abraham.
Good morning, how are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm great.
Great. What's your own experience with water?
Well, happy Easter for you.
Thank you. Happy Easter to you too.
I would like to make this passionate appeal to you. You may take offense or not. I'm somebody who is logical in my talk.
Very well.
When you sit on the TV and you talk, you don't follow up. That makes the system very, very rather poor. Because those who are connected with these issues are suffering. You only sit on the TV and you talk. When we speak to you, you don't send your men. As sometimes I see USA, how do you call it, Umaru Sanda, going to some places to talk or to find out what is going on at the place. It's very appalling. Now, I am criticizing you first before I bring my problem.
Go ahead, and then when you're done, we'll respond to it.
Okay, now listen. Oningo has a perennial water problem. Before I came here, I'm a policeman who has just retired. We buy that white drum, the acid drum. That white one, 150 cedis per drum. And if you don't get it, you have to buy the 4 gallons for 5 cedis or 3 cedis. And in fact, even if you have 4 in a house and you don't have water, imagine the amount of water you buy in a month. And what happens is that the drivers have the audacity and they are happy to buy pickups and these Kia trucks, put 3 tanks, 4 tanks into them, and go to the Wenya, Pram, and other places to fetch the water to come and sell to us in all the areas in Oningo and its environment. Why am I saying this? I don't know whether they have collaborated or coordinated or whatever they are doing with the water company in Sampram.
For a retired policeman, I'm sure you know better not to make such allegations on air.
When you say so, in fact, you should know that we all have our limits.
Yes, but I mean, to publicly make such an allegation, you cannot prove.
No. We don't do that.
So please, let's not do that.
Talk about it, then you will not have the water. Even the police station, we have to chase cars before they bring water to the police station, and we pay. Luckily, unfortunately, but I'm retired and I'm staying in Ningo. And what I'm saying, I'm suggesting that you send somebody down to the place to see for yourself what is happening. So that when you bring it to the fore, people will see exactly what is happening. This is what I'm talking about.
Thank you. The same thing you're critiquing. I mean, we appreciate your criticism. Thank you so much for your observation and your criticism. But same thing you're critiquing, the same thing you're asking us to come there to do. You're criticizing us for reporting or speaking on the matter and not following up. But I'm sure if you've stayed long enough with us here at Channel One TV and 97.3 City FM, you would have noticed that all along we follow up on these issues. We bring the authorities to speak to the issue. I don't know on your own as an individual what you have done to help address the issue. But yes, we take the criticism in good faith. Thank you so much.
Hold on, please. I'm happy with your suggestion. But before somebody starts talking to you people, that person has gone through some kind of system.
Okay, so
that we are beginning to be, we are fed up.
Okay.
And we, those of us who are residing there as strangers, what we see is what we talk. We have gone far, but sometimes it's like when you go far, you talk. There are a big eyes, not opinion leaders, but there are people who also are happy when we tell you, we the strangers talk to you people about what is happening in the system. That is why I'm telling you this. I've gone deep into somewhere to talk, but it is not holding.
Very well. Very well.
So that's what I'm suggesting, that if your men are on the ground, let one of them come around to see exactly what that's. When you are reporting, I'm seeing the jerrycans and somebody is reporting from Atadika or wherever. Then we are happy. They also see it and
very well. Thank you.
The honorable MP can see it and see what is happening. Then you also understand what is going on. So,
thank you so much. I'm not sure when you joined the program, but if you had started with us, you would have noticed that we reported from affected communities. Our reporter was on the grounds to bring the issue to bear. You would have also noticed that we've spoken to the PRO of the Ghana Water Company. We've subsequently spoken to the Member of Parliament for Ponkatamanso.
So, please, my brother, I'm happy I'm watching you talk.
Abraham, maybe share your contact with our producers. You find a way and visit your area and see what we can do for you. Because the issue with the Ningo Pram Pram water issue, it's also another person one way. We have to go to the area and
I mean, the challenges
get the Member of Parliament for the area, Honorable Samuel Nate George, to maybe talk about it and what the authorities are doing about it. Mind you, the MMDCs, they are yet to be in these areas so that they can start working. So maybe he's making a point there that he hasn't seen our reporters yet there. Maybe very soon he will, and so he should be ready to direct us to the places
I can understand
that we can have a conversation.
Philip, it can be very, very frustrating that you don't have water, you see water going to other places, you have to cough out money, and now he's retired. You understand? It's a drain on his finances, so I can understand.
So he's talking out of frustration.
Exactly. But what my concern is that you don't take your frustration out on anyone at all.
Exactly.
You get, that's what I was asking. If he had started the show with us, he would have noticed the sequence that we built. We were on the grounds to report the situation.
the frustration has gotten to a limit where it can no more be filtered. So he has to pour it out.
Which is fine. Which is fine. But like we're saying, so we'll make his contact after. We'll have a reporter go to the area, possibly as at when there's availability to do so, an opportunity presents itself to do so.
And he should be ready to guide us when
the challenges might be different. I mean, there could be an area where it's genuine scarcity. There could be an area where it's a pressure problem. There could be an area where they need to re-engineer the entire water system.
And there's an area where people are doing illegal.
Exactly.
Anyway, we have Alaji
is also joining us. Alaji, you are calling from where?
I'm calling you from English, from.
English, from. How is the water situation there like? Okay, south.
In fact, if we have to talk about water, I can confidently tell you that at from area, English from area, for almost a year or more than that, we don't get water flow. Always you see an area will come small. We don't know. Previously we used not to have such issues. You understand? But we don't know for the past 1 year or something. I don't know whether your machines are old or something. We don't know.
But have you reported?
We have reported Ghana Water Company. They will come our area, they will send their boys, they will come, they will check, they say the pressure is too low. Every day the pressure is low. You understand? And it's becoming unbecoming. I've come some of them managers, many of them, I've called them. Then the next day they will say, oh, they are sending somebody to come. The person will come, he will just, some kind of, apart from even water not flowing, the engineers who come and say, you don't see any professionalism. Somebody comes to check water, pipe that is not flowing without tools. How do you check? You understand? And then when they are burying their pipes, they don't dig, they just put it on the surface. You understand? So we need professionalism in Ghana Water. If you don't do proper work or no professionalism in your work, how is your company going to make money?
And do you pay bills? Do you get bills?
My brother, they bringing bills. What am I going to pay? Because any time the bill comes, they pay money. Water is not flowing. You bring me bill.
Like how much?
Oh, I can tell you what they brought. They've been bringing for the past 2 years, every day 300 Ghana.
Wow.
You understand? The bills have been coming 300 Ghana. Then I come to check that, my brother, what you are bringing, you yourself, tell me, do you see water flowing around the area? You understand? Myself, I put myself in their shoes because I also work with a service provider. You understand? If your water doesn't flow, how are you going to make money and make that company the best?
Right.
I mean, my brother, things are not well with Ghana Water. I don't know whether the company exists.
So you're not getting water in the area for like a year. How do you survive? How do you get water?
Recently they did some work at the main junction, and they said now the work that they did at the Manfum junction will get us some flow. Up to now, we buy water. Sometimes you buy water from a car comes. My brother, you look at the water, you can't use it. Sure. So normally, I warn my wife, my children, if you want us to use water, go and buy sake water for cooking. You understand? You think about all these things, you don't understand. Then you come out to tell us that you are increasing water bill. Give us the water and charge us, we'll pay.
Right.
People are willing to pay. Like this kind of, as it happened to ECG that they came to change the meters, will you say you won't buy a light? You won't buy it. You understand? But I'm telling you, Ghana Water, I don't know whether the company exists. I don't know. So please, I'm happy that Breakfast Day you brought this topic up. Please, I don't know who we should talk to. Me, I passed by, I got many of their top guys. You call them, they tell you sorry, we let somebody come.
Alaji, point well noted. We just hope and pray that the authorities are listening and they'll do what is needful for English Amanfrom area and you get the water that you need. The interesting part is that you are not getting the water.
But
you are billed. You are paying like 300 Ghana cedis a month.
Yeah. And the tariffs have gone higher.
Yes,
again.
4.02%.
That's effective May 3.
It's effective May 3, and some few days from now.
Yeah.
And you are not getting water through your taps. And Nana, you said that they should the illegal connection. How?
No, I mean, they asked for that, it's wrong. There's no excuse for that.
But you know, this is I have a confession to make. This is the first time I'm hearing that there's illegal connection when it comes to water.
Oh yes.
Oh really?
There's so much.
The connector doesn't go through the meter.
Yes, so
it will go through another software. So
they're able to
bypass the
metering system. Yeah.
Bypass the meter.
Which is so wrong. Which is so wrong. That one's called
Abroni
Bay is simple.
Eric Fonko is also joining us. Eric.
Hello.
Your member of parliament just spoke to us a few minutes ago. What is the water situation in the area like?
Yes, thank you very much. I listened to him, and he addressed some few issues. But I heard him saying they need to look at some of the pipelines that they need to put a bigger pipelines. I agree perfectly. But the issue here is that for the past 6 months, New Bridge, my house specifically, or my area specifically, don't even have water for the past 6 months. And you know, the funny aspect is that I've been asking the Ghana Water Company, do they even have leaders? Do they have managers in that company? Because I strongly believe that every institution have managers. They have people who are to see to the running of the institution. So if for the past 6 months we don't have water at our area, how would they get money to really pay their staff? Here is the case. He's saying that there are smaller pipes. I don't have a problem about that. Even the smaller pipes, we don't even have water running through them. Even the smaller pipes, if we even have water running through them, there wouldn't be even an issue at the areas. They need to look at it and address the issue holistically. The water issue in Bunkatama, so specifically New Bridge, very, very bad. For the past 6 months, no water. No water.
How have you been surviving?
We have to, you know, like everyone is saying, this water, these tankers have to go around selling water. And even that one, you have to call them several times before they will come around.
Sure.
And it's very, very bad. A gallon of water here is about 5 Ghana cedis to even 6 Ghana cedis. How can people afford that? Meanwhile, Ghana Water is a full institution. No wonder some of the institutions of the country are running into losses. Meanwhile, we have managers and leaders who are supposed to see to the day-to-day running of the institution to make sure that they make profit for the country. But yet, they run, and we still have people there every month, they still pay them. If the people are ineffective or they are not efficient enough, I think the best thing to, like the way our president have said, all those institutions are not making headway in the for the country. Either they privatize them or they start everybody from that institution. And I think that would rather be the best way, because people are there and they are not working. So how can a manager be there and manager be in the office and people are not getting water and they are not doing anything for the past 6 months?
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much for talking to us. I mean, you can share.
I can share his.
Yeah.
Very soon we should get Adam Mutawakilu on to tell us the challenges here.
Anyway,
he has met when he went to the office.
Yeah, so we have Madam Olivia on the line right now. Hi, Madam Olivia. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Madam Olivia. You are welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Yes.
Where are you calling from, and what's the water situation like?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yes.
Turn down the volume on your TV set and listen to us through the phone.
I have a problem as well.
Yes, turn down the volume on your TV set. We're getting too much feedback.
Okay. I have a problem as well.
Okay.
Where I am is along the Dexter Road now. And it looks like every 3 weeks is when we get water. Every 3 weeks. And you realize that sometimes you call the drivers, they will not come. And I think they have a connection with this Ghana water guys around. Because sometimes the water is flowing somewhere. You realize water is flowing, but you will not get water for sometimes 3 weeks, sometimes 1 month. So at least I heard what you were discussing. That they have to send the men down to check all these things because there is connection between the guys who come down and those who sell the water. So if those things could be checked for us, as citizens, it goes along with numbers. But some people are enjoying water, you will not get water for 3 weeks before you get water.
Right.
Okay. Point well made. We just Def Chaco, right?
Yes, Def Chaco.
So we just pray that the authorities are also listening and watching because it's very important. But Nana, like you stated, some of the problem is also from us as humans, and we should also check the consumption, what we are using the water for. Because if you are to use too much water in your kitchen, too much water in the washroom, too much water in the bathroom, too much water outside, even to water your lawns, among other things. It tells you that the water will not even last for that period you want it to last.
Even how much you're using to brush your teeth.
Yes.
As
I know someone who can use 2
understand?
sachets to brush her teeth. And
reason?
it tells
Listen,
because you've seen it. It's a lot. But you've forgotten that it will finish.
Water. Yes. If you have to do the utensils, fetch 2 bowls of water, one to wash, one to rinse, instead of keeping the tap running.
We don't do that.
Washing. Why are you in the shower? You're scrubbing your body, and the shower is flowing.
It's still flowing, and you're singing and dancing.
And that water, what is it washing? The towels?
Maybe it's washing
your sins away. Christ died for your sins. Water won't wash your sins away.
Anyway, guys, we have some messages right here. And good morning, Channel One. And Emmanuel from Kaswa. My area at Kaswa CP, there has been no water since last year, April. That's a year now.
Wow.
When you ask, they say it's because of the road construction. Yet every month they would prepare a bill and send to you, but they are not ready to solve the problem. And Sadiq from Kaswa again.
Sorry, but I have a problem. What are they billing you for?
That's the thing.
Because to bill me, you have to come and read my meter.
Per the conversation we had with
yesterday,
the Ghana Water Limited yesterday, the PRO for the Ashanti region, he says that the bills come as a result of the water you've used in the past.
How?
So, for instance, if you use water, or even if water flows through your pipes just an hour and fills up your tank, that is also
that is water.
I get it, but we are getting calls from or messages from people who say water hasn't flowed in their taps for over a year.
For a year.
Yeah.
Last year, April, and they are getting bills. So what are they being billed for?
Let's move to the Amasaman side, Asapeman to be specific. Anan is joining us from Sapeman. Anan, good morning.
Good morning. God bless you.
What is the situation?
This morning, about the water issue, I mean, I sometimes don't understand. My hometown, particularly Mankesim to be precisely, and you know, our water destiners at Besukrum, so we usually call them Besukrum water pump, blah, 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 blah. You remember recently Professor Jampo was also, because we all use the same water head from the same area. So Salt Pond and its surrounding area, we don't have water. And you know, this yellow gallon that you are showing right now is 7 cedis per one.
Wow.
As I'm speaking. Yes. Yesterday, I near Accra. You know, I'm in Accra here. So I decided to go there and do something, blah, blah, blah. So when I went there, my mom said, we have big reservoir in our house that people used to come and fetch water from our end. And we even have short, so who will get the water? So there is a place that they say they have some. So we decided to go there with a car and then buy. So we took this gallon 4. And when the woman said, 1 is 7 Ghana, I said, hey, here. And you know what? To even live in that central region particular, before you end up a day, you end up 10 cedis. Master, it's not easy. So for you to buy a water, this 0 gallon for 7 cedis, meaning you not eat for the day. So I was thinking, before a country was facing that problem where Mankesu area was cool, but now Fantman rather is facing, well, if you remember 2009, 2012, at Aman's time, he went and did some water, this thing for them at social, between social to Afam, yes. So they are now a little bit okay. But when you go to Mankesu, because that basic water pump, for years, that's where I live. I have land around that area. They call that Samaria. And the water, so sometimes I would ask myself, so the water works, are they working or because you not come and see any renovation, you not come and see any upgrading, that line is still there. So I was not worried as we are facing this problem. So we bet the water works people. They sometimes, the machine, that's the equipment that they are using to provide that. So they should, as they are collecting the money, they should invest in it. We bet them. Brother, thank you.
And I thank you so much for your time. I'm calling from Saperman, and he has stated that what the Ghana Water Limited is taking by way of bills, they should ensure that their equipment is updated. If not, we are still going to have issues like this. Mind you, they've done something at Peve in recent times in the Volta region. The Ghana Water Limited went there to get some of their equipment renewed and also the plant to work in. And we know that even with that, there's still water challenge. Like the PRO stated, the Accra East PRO, the raw water is not there. And maybe he will say that Wager is where we are getting our water from. But I'm sure that Wager should also be having water from other regions. Or
Wager's main source is the Densu.
The Densu.
Which flows from the eastern region.
Exactly. Also. And if Galamsey affects there, it's still going to affect the Wager Dam. Yesterday I saw a story from the Member of Parliament for Ebuakwa South, Dr. Kingsley Ajiman, stating that even a place like Esiakwa, right now they do not have water because of illegal mining. And now they have to rely on pure water for existence. And it tells you that, like we've been saying every now and then, the illegal mining situation should stop.
Exactly.
Because if you are mining illegally and we do not have fixed plan for this issue, in the near future, we will be buying water.
True. Let's go to Cape Coast. Carl is calling us from Cape Coast. Good morning, Carl.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
My favorite station, City TV.
ChannelOne TV. Thank you. ChannelOne TV.
In fact, I am very grateful that in a holiday like this, you people have taken priority in issues concerning ordinary Ghanaians. Unlike other stations, by now they would have been doing some funny shows, entertainment, but you people have chosen to go within the hearts of Ghanaians, and they are pouring out their frustrations out. You know, I'll give you an example. When I was in Accra, it's not just about water. You know, I was having 4 air conditions in my apartment. So when I relocated to that, I realized that the bill was less. The bill that they were billing me, it was postpaid. So I went to them, ECG, informed them that, look, I suspect the bill you are giving to me is not. Maybe you have a problem with your meter. I am rather trying to generate revenue. Do you get my point?
Yeah.
But trust me, they never show up. So I also take it like, well, if I want to do the right thing and they will not come, then I'll let it be.
Right.
You get the point? It's not just like, it's an institutional problem. That is why I don't believe in World Health Organization. You believe that there was COVID in these areas when they can't even get water to even flush their toilet. And COVID has to do with what? Sanity. Do you believe that there was COVID in Ghana? No wonder they said Africa would have been the worst affected, but thank God we were out. Look, look at our institutions. Ghana Health Service are the private, how do you call it? Private clinics. Are they not making better impact than the Ghana Health Service? Go to education. So why are we having a problem with water? Private people should come in. Then we will live. We will take the Ghana out and join the private. So everything will be private. After all, my kids don't go to Ghana hospitals. They go to clinics, private clinics. They go to private schools. So the same thing will happen to Ghana Water and ECG if private people should come in. Because we are sick and tired. Even if people have to report about problems that benefit the state, they don't even take action. How much more will they take action on things that are directly affecting them?
Sure.
This is the country we have ourselves in. So I am saying that Ghanaians should come together. We want private sector to come and take over the water system. How can people be living in areas 1 week they don't even have water?
Thank you.
Water is life.
Thank you. Point well.
So he's asking that the Ghana Water Limited be privatized.
Yeah.
Mind you, the privatization of the ECG has met some opposition. And
well, apparently the president has suggested it. The His Energy and Green Transition Minister has suggested it. We were under an MCC, a Millennium Challenge Compact, that brought about the PDS. We also saw what happened with that. We are looking at how the conversation is going to go regarding privatization of the ECG. But I am all for private sector participation. Listen, we have this mentality where a bindia and media is for the government, so we don't care. But if it's your private business,
you would run it well. But then again, we also say that when the private business comes, it's going to increase the bill. Let's go to another caller. We understand.
Competition.
Yes.
And competition
is good. Very good, actually.
Well, sing. It's on the line. Hello, sir. Good morning.
Morning.
Where are you joining us from?
I'm joining from Paloma.
Where?
Paloma.
From Dawenya.
Dawenya. What is the situation there like?
I'm grateful for the contribution. The problem of this water shortages is massive urbanization. You see, formerly, the same pipeline, we are using the same pipeline. So the Ghana Water has to resolve so that they should do more expansion. Then this problem will be solved. Other than that, the confining of these shortages of water every day every time.
Okay, so you are calling for the pipelines to be changed, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. That's Wilson there telling us his issue with the pipelines. Thank you so much, sir. And we'll put that message across. So, like we were stating, the privatization of Ghana Water Limited will come up with the competition, maybe good service. Maybe that we cannot really.
I think it's all about the service than the competition for anyone that really wants it at this moment. Because from what the last caller said, he's more about the efficiency of doing the job right and giving us the service so we can pay for it, no matter how much it costs. Just give us a good service. Like he talked about the schools, he talked about the hospitals, and so much more. So I think it's all about the service that you are going to be gaining from them. That's his problem. And honestly, really, we want the service. We want great service because he said, like, when people, you put certain people in places and they're not doing the job, and they're not doing. If they're not doing the job, it's going to have a ripple effect, and they're getting paid. And when you go out to report to them, they are, just
this lackluster attitude.
About everything.
I mean, I any day I'm for privatization or private sector participation. But not just the privatization of the company, but opening the space for other private sector players to enter. This is my thinking, right? If you're going to privatize Ghana Water Company, that's fine. But that's only one leg of it. Allow other water distribution companies to also come into the distribution space. And then there's competition between a private sector company and a government institution.
Maybe Ghana Water want to enjoy monopoly.
And then we'll see. Let's say, like the Accra East region. Ghana Water is supplying water. Accra West Region, a private company is supplying water. And we'll see, when the consumers start moving from the Ghana Water to the private sector, you will set up
like how we got it from in the telcos.
Exactly.
We had
MTN, AT, Telecel.
It was only Ghana Telecom.
I mean, it is cost intensive.
Exactly.
It will cost an arm and a leg to enter that space. But if we're able to do it, allow other private sector companies to fully participate in the distribution end of our utilities, electricity, water, you'll see the difference it will make in this country.
And you think that the private companies would be able to generate enough, say, like distribute enough water to the residents who are complaining as compared to what is happening?
He's a business
He has to make
person.
money.
He's a profit-oriented person. He's thinking about his profit at the end of the day. He will provide a service to collect his money.
At any cost.
He will provide a service.
And it looks like
to
Ghanaians are willing
money.
to pay any cost. Once we are getting the service, we are willing to pay.
Yes. But I'm saying that, I mean, for me, the biggest solution to this is innovation.
Yeah.
We cannot, in this day and age, sit and wait for rainwater as our major source. Let's innovate, harvest water, store water, recycle water, and send the same water back to the consumer.
Rightly
So innovation and our behavior too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And climate change. Climate change. And galamsey. Charlie, the matters there are plenty.
It's plenty. Anyway, we've had a great conversation, and we want to thank everyone for joining the conversation by calling. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we have more for you.
And all right, we are grateful that you stayed with us here on Breakfast Daily on ChannelOne TV. We are still talking about water issues within communities in the country. Some messages we having on our text line. The problem is not the availability of water. There are a number of standpipes with tanks where tankers fill up and sell to the people. My question is, who are the owners of those standpipes? Could it be workers of Ghana Water Limited or just ordinary people? Maybe
that's a serious question,
allegation. Yes.
We have one from Sadiq from Kaswa Millennium City Estate. For over 4 years, we have never had water flowing through our pipes. Surprisingly, during the rainy season, when we are able to fill our tanks with rainwater, then you have occasional water flowing from Ghana Water. Meanwhile, Ghana Water Company has an office close here, but they simply don't care. So for many years, we have been complaining, but nothing has been done.
My name is Bentum from Adenta. That is Bentum from Adenta said, I live in Adenta in the flat specifically. There is this thing that Ghana does to us, and I don't get it. They take the water and bring it at dawn, and when we are all asleep, how in God's name do you expect us to be awake to fetch the water which flows at that time? Maybe you would have to get some alarm and wake up at that time and fetch the water, because once the water is gone, it's gone. I don't know. Maybe the Ghana Water Limited also checks that period. A lot of people are not fetching. There isn't much pressure, so they'll open during that time. People get the water and they close it. So those are the messages coming from you on the water situation. Good morning, host of Breakfast Daily. I'm happy with the topic you are discussing. My worry is that when some are suffering to pay their bills, others are enjoying free. Example, when you go to Timber Market, hundreds of water pipes cross over the lagoon to Agbogboloshi, that is Sodom and Gomorrah area. They are all using illegal, and Ghana Water Limited, politicians, ECG, all those people know it very well. But are you sure they know it very well? Well, we can't really ascertain that fact here on Breakfast Daily. But that has been the water conversation here on Breakfast Daily. We've taken you to parts of the country from Monday till today. Today we focused in the Greater Accra region, where we spoke to the Member of Parliament for Ponkatamanso. Also, the Ghana Water Limited PRO, Accra East, Nana Berima, also had a conversation with us. We opened the phone lines for you to share your frustration with us. Let's move to another conversation, and Chris, is going to interest you to know that in the Volta region, there is an issue with electricity. Some of the people there are complaining about low voltage. And low voltage can destroy a lot of your electrical appliances. Your air conditioner can destroy your refrigerator. It can destroy your iron, among other things.
I'm smiling because it happens to me.
It happens to you?
Just 2 weeks ago. Or
And how did you manage that?
There's something that is still spots in the house right now.
Wow.
Yes. So our alarms went off. So not just mine, like mostly everyone, the neighbors. So when the low voltage affects the alarm system, it messes up the battery and the alarm just turns on and cannot go off until you cut it off.
Wow.
Yes. So everybody went, and it happened in the middle of the night.
Making noise.
Making noise. And I was confused. I was like, what happened? Has somebody jumped into my house? What happened? So when I went, I looked around the house, nothing. Only to call the guy that fixed the alarm system. He was like, has there been low voltage? I was like, yeah, it has been going on and off. He said, yes, okay, sorry, it's messed up. You have to cut it off. So now we have to replace everything. So by the time I finished cutting my own off, my neighbor own went. Like, you just start hearing different alarms. I was like, oh, okay, everybody's affected. So
there's a big issue in the Volta region, specifically in Ho. Let's bring you this report filed by our Volta regional correspondent, Desmond Selassie Ago. After, we'll have a conversation on that.
Residents and business owners in Ho and several parts of the Volta region are expressing growing frustration over frequent power outages that have persisted for close to a month. The erratic power supply, marked by both sudden blackout and prolonged low voltage, continues to affect activities during the day and at night, causing significant disruptions to livelihoods and daily routines. Many small and medium enterprises are bearing the brunt of the situation, especially businesses that rely on refrigeration or uninterrupted power supply. Some business owners who spoke to ChannelOne News say the situation is affecting them and needs to be addressed quickly.
So over the past days, we've been experiencing intermittent power outage and low current. This is a business that relies solely on electricity. We put some of our products in the fridge for customers, and sometimes when they come and the item is not so cheap, they do not want to buy it. Quite apart from business, when it comes to the house, the meat, the food stuff that we also put in our fridge and freezers are also getting spoiled due to this. And we currently don't know what the issue is. We've been looking out to hear something good from the stakeholders, but we've still not heard anything. So currently this is where we find ourselves. Sometimes we also need to have a standby generator in case the power goes off and there is a need for us to rely on the generator. We'll do that.
Light in the air, your area, man, I will continue on. And you may be a bobber by 7 on my day, lights. You bet me at them, some 8 o'clock on the light night. I'm back. By Saban Soa, the best I could sign as I did, almost said, a bar, a bit me I could blow, Nasaba high view.
Several households also report food spoilage, damaged electrical appliances, and growing anxiety over the unpredictability of the current situation. During the filing of this report, power was cut off on 3 different occasions. Residents call for the issue to be addressed promptly.
So I calling on the various stakeholders who are responsible for the maintenance of the energy, ECG hole, and other higher people to come in for us to help stabilize the energy. If there's anything going on, they should tell us so that we'll be ready and prepared to know what to do.
Ni apa bom ke vele fipiti ari menya vele menyanka kurale terege o me die mi tamu ala benu nyaru ko acha kadiri mi anko mi anu fupe anu bido no le sen ko osi.
In response to the growing public concern, the Volta Regional Minister, James Gunu, paid a visit to the Volta Regional Office of the Electricity Company of Ghana in Ho, followed by another visit to the Gridco office in Akosombo, and expressed his dissatisfaction with the state of power supply in the region, noting its disruptive impact on businesses, livelihoods, and homes. The regional general manager of ECG, Ms. Christina Jato Kaliu, attributed the power challenges to voltage fluctuation from Gridco, but assured the minister that both companies are working together to restore stable electricity to affected communities. Assembly member for the Bosontoe electoral area in Ho, Sefaji Agama, called for answers from ECG.
So as we speak, it's 8:36 p.m. and the lights have just gone off. This is uncalled for. It is not what we wish for as customers of ECG. And when you talk, they say, oh, they are having short supply from Gridco or whatever. The question I want to ask is, if it is due to short supply, almost all the time in the evening around this time, you put off the light. Then in 15-20 minutes time, the light comes back. So how do you make up for the short supply that you complain that is causing this light out? That is the question I want the ECG people to answer, because Ghanaians want answers. The people of Ho and the Volta region want answers.
So it can be very frustrating that you are having your electrical appliance and you are not able to use it to its fullest. You're having the air conditioner in your room and it's not working well. The fan is not blowing that well. The iron is not working properly, and even sometimes the television can go off.
Yeah, a lot of things can even blow up at the end of the day because of the voltage.
So residents of Ho, they have been staying with this challenge for quite some time. You'll be speaking to the authorities that be and find out from them the immediate action that will be taken to address this challenge. And if the Electricity Company of Ghana or Gridco, the challenges they are going through to get to this issue resolved. Often it happens in the evenings. I don't know whether this is happening during daytime, but the Volta Regional Minister, James Gunu, is joining us live on phone to tell us what exactly is happening in his region. Honorable, good morning.
Good morning.
I trust you are doing well.
By the grace of God.
Has the low voltage situation reached your desk?
Yeah.
And what has been the conversation around it from your side?
Okay. Thank you very much. Let me say good morning to your audience. It has started since I assumed office as the regional minister for the Volta region, and some engagement with the Electricity Company of Ghana. They also started complaining about Gridco. Along the line, we wrote officially to them to come out explaining exactly what the situations are officially. We never heard from them, so I decided to visit the office unannounced, and that is also part of my program. I started visiting some departments and agencies unannounced. I went to the Birth and Death, I went to the Lands Commission and other departments. So I visited the Electricity Company of Ghana and met with the engineers over there, because we are positioning the Volta region as the best investment destination in the country, and for investment to thrive, definitely power is key. So this issue of light out and low voltage is affecting businesses a lot in the region. So when I approached them, they also mentioned that yes, it is true, the situation is real. However, they received power from Gridco, and whatever they receive is what
they supply. So that is the main cause of the situation. So quickly, since they mentioned Greco, I had to look for Greco. Greco is not having office in the Volta region. Their area office is in Akosombo. So quickly, I contacted my colleague, the Eastern Regional Minister, and informed her that I'm rushing to her jurisdiction to meet with the Greco and listen to their side. So I got to Greco, Akosombo, that same day when I left ECG regional office in home. I got there. I didn't meet the area manager, but I spoke with him on phone. And he also did admit that they have some technical challenges and that it is not 100% true that the situation is coming from them because according to him, they can supply ECG with the required voltage, but yet ECG could have a low voltage supplied to the customers. So I demanded that the two institutions come out with a statement or have a press conference to explain to the customers, the general public in the region, that this is what the situations are. And up to now, they have not done that. They only issued a statement that on the 22nd of this month, they are going to shut down the system for some maintenance. And so that is where we have gotten to now. Yesterday, the light went out on 2 occasions in the evening. So I called the ECG officials again and asked. So they sent me a text that it came from the Greco system tripped, and they had to, give us blackout. That is the situation we found ourselves in now, and the people are not happy. Keeping us in communication darkness and also in the power darkness is not the best. So Greco said I should talk to the region, the sector minister before they can come out with a press conference. Actually, I have not been able to reach the minister. I called him, I couldn't get him. So Greco and ECG have a lot of responsibilities to explain to the good people of the region, because it's affecting businesses as I indicated earlier. And if we want investment to thrive in our region, we cannot do without power. So they owe us a lot of answers. They owe us a lot of answers, and they need to come out to explain to us first, and then make sure that they fix whatever challenges they have, so that we can have a sustainable power supply in the region.
So, Honorable, you've mentioned that you've spoken to Gridco and Akosombo, and you are also trying to get in touch with the energy minister. Are you giving us your assurance that you are following this issue through and through? And what is your word to residents of Ho?
I want to assure them that I will continue to put pressure on these institutions, just as I did with the Ghana Water Company when we had the water crisis. And today, the situation is better than it used to be. We'll ensure that the managers of our power system also deliver quality services to us. And I will still be following right after the Easter holidays. I will go to them again, put pressure on them until they do what is right.
Right. Honorable, if this situation continues, what consequences could it have on the region's, say, economic development?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, even the day I went to the ECG, before I left the office, the Indian High Commissioner to Ghana was with me. He paid a courtesy call on me where we discussed a lot of issues, including investment in the region and capacity building for government workers vis-a-vis the regional coordinating council and district assembly and some other related issues, and a lot of investment that is taking place in the region will be affected. And even at a point, I made them aware that this lighthouse can even affect marriages. It can affect education.
Honorable, how is it going to affect marriages?
Oh, if communication gap can lead to, if you don't have power to, even you will not be able to get me if I have low battery.
Okay.
And my network is off.
Okay.
And you are not able to reach your wife or husband, you might not know what is happening. You understand?
Yeah,
right.
And then education as well. Education. Children will have to study.
Yeah.
They have to study. They're using the electricity. So if they do not have electricity, how can they study? So it affects a lot of things, including economic development in the region. So the ECG and Greco should stop putting blame on each other. They should come together and solve the challenge, the problems they have, and provide sustainable power for us.
Right.
Honorable, thank you so much for joining us here on the Breakfast Daily ChannelOne TV. We are grateful that any time we call on you to respond to issues in your region, you answer us and also explain to us. We are much grateful. We don't take that for granted. But we still have our regional correspondent, Volta regional correspondent, Desmond Selassie Ago, joining us via Zoom. Desmond, good morning. Hello, Desmond. If you are there, if you can hear me, good morning. Good. The issue is happening in Ho, but paint us a better picture. Is it which places in Ho, and if you can mention the towns or communities for us, or areas that the low voltage or power situation is affected?
All right, good morning, Philip. I'll say this is almost every part of the region, but Ho specifically because most of the businesses are in Ho here. During the day, power can go off as much as 5 times. You experience low voltages for a very long time. Your fan can just go off any time. Your TV set, your electrical appliances, everything can just go off at any time. When you go to the southern part as well, lights goes off there also almost every day. In Ho, just yesterday, whilst filing the report, it will surprise you that the power went off about 4 times before I was done with the story or with filing the report. So you could say that it's greatly affecting businesses. I was speaking to some business owners, some barbers in town, some cold store operators. They tell me they have to just sell at cheap prices for their products not to go waste. The barber also tells me that he's now resorting to using the manual old method, which is the blade and the comb to barber for his clients, because he can't be using the barbering machine and all of a sudden it should just go off in the middle of the work. So it's affecting him also. At the southern part, most people also do fishing, so they have to have these cold stores to freeze their fish for export elsewhere. So you could also say that those people at the southern parts who are also reeling from this power outages. Yes, the minister said he has visited the electricity company of Ghana and Gridco to find answers to the problem, and it's true. But people in the region are still calling for more. They want urgent attention or urgent solution to this situation, so to ensure that their businesses continue to thrive as it used to be. Mind you, Volta region is one of the tourist destinations in the region, in the country, I beg your pardon. So most of these hotels, conference centers and others also are just not happy with the situation. They say they have to buy more fuel for their generators and plants to power their facilities, and this affecting them. It's also transcending into the cost they are charging their clients. So in all, it's affecting the region, businesses, individuals, those in their homes. They also say that their fridges are not working properly. They have to every day be heating their foods, and it's also costing them, because after maybe a week, you have to go back to buy gas for cooking at home. So it's affecting almost everybody in the region, Philip.
Right. So have any explanation been given by ECG or Gridco about what's happening?
All right, so for now, we haven't heard anything from ECG, but when the lights will go off for a very long time, especially in the day, we are giving notices, at least 2 days notices before the situation occurs. And this, they tell us, is some maintenance they are doing. So I won't say it is also, or it is part of the outages we are experiencing, as they say themselves, that it is some fault, in quotes, localized fault, and they are repairing, or their engineers are site repairing. So I won't classify that as part of the outages, electricity supply outages we are experiencing here. But in general, we don't usually hear from them when these things are occurring, especially the low voltages and the intermittent power supply.
So, Desmond, just to wrap up with you, we don't know if you've been able to get in touch with some of the institutions, i.e. schools in Ho, Maoli School, Maoko, Ola, Ho Technical Institute or University, Ho Technical University, and other institutions. How do they go about their day-to-day activities now that the low voltage or power situation is having a toll on day-to-day activities in the capital? Hello, Desmond. Hello, Desmond. I think we've...
Philip, please come again.
Okay,
yeah,
so
Philip,
I was asking you, the institutions, schools, Ho Technical University, Maoli, Maoko, Ola, EP University, among others, how are they going about their day-to-day activities since we are having low voltage or the power situation in Ho? Mind you, because these institutions rely solely on the national grid.
All right, so for the tertiary institutions, the EP University, the Technical University, and the University of Health and Allied Sciences, students are writing exams. So you could imagine how students go into the night to study, and at the end of the day, the lights goes off. Most of these institutions don't supply power to all parts of the campuses. So you could just imagine how these students are feeling. You go back to the hostel, there's no light, you just can't know what to do. It's rather fortunate that the senior high schools in town have vacated, and most of them have gone home. So it's quite okay there now. But back then, they also, when they go to prep, they have to just close, sit around, and waiting for the lights to come. If it doesn't, then they just have to go back to their dormitories to sleep. So generally, in town, the situation is very bad. We just want answers to this issue once and for all.
Desmond, thank you so much for your time. Desmond Selassie Ago is our Volta regional correspondent, and he is telling us what the electricity situation is like in the Volta region, specifically. We spoke to the Volta regional minister, James Gunu, who gave an assurance that he's monitoring events keenly and he's expecting that the Electricity Company of Ghana and Gridco will bring out some response to their questions and tell them exactly what the situation is and how they are addressing the problem. Chris.
It's been interesting.
Yeah.
It's been interesting.
Could tell the fan is blowing as a snow pace, and you'll be wondering there is electricity, but
and
it's not
people
that.
People are trying to charge their phones in that level of
it's very frustrating.
Electricity. Yeah.
It's very frustrating. It's very, very, very frustrating. So we just hope that the authorities will address the issue immediately.
I think the regional minister has also done his part.
Yeah.
By trying to find out exactly what's happening. It's not as if he's just sitting down. I like the fact that he has been proactive about it, and he has moved from one of the institutions to the other institutions. If you say you have a problem with this person, okay, let me go and ask this person. I like that he did that with ECG and Gridco. And I think it's like he said, ECG and Gridco need to really come together and, say something. Get your acts together.
So that they wouldn't. Exactly. They should stop the blinking.
Exactly, and it's not nice leaving people in a limbo.
Yeah.
Like this is something they're paying. It's not free.
It's not free at all.
You understand? It's not free, and if it's a service that you owe the people, I think you also owe them the communication. Don't just be numb about it and let them just do the guesswork and start asking themselves what is really going on. I don't think it's really nice
at all.
Because so if this was happening in Accra, social media would have gone haywire, and then we will see all the communications on Twitter, on Facebook, everywhere. You understand? I think the people of Volta deserve that.
So you should try and work on it. There's a message coming through that says, "Good morning, ChannelOne TV. Forgive me, but I am going to vent through you this morning. My problem, aside the frequent and erratic power supply or outage, is that the insane meter reading and bills we get, as well as the inconsistency when you buy prepaid. How can I leave the house from 5 a.m., come back home at 9 p.m. with only a fridge and water dispenser at home to meet a high electricity bill? Don't even get me started on the low current issue. If you would take the light, take it, and let me understand, Preko. Don't be giving me sope. Anyway, you're still watching Breakfast Daily.